Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part 2 of this creating a map of Cape May in New Jersey. So I took a road sign. We need this shape. I'm going to go to bitmap, resample, and it's huge, so it'll work. I'm going to go to trace bitmap, outline trace clip art, and let's see if this works. It's going to take just a second. It might even be too many dots per inch. No, it looks good. Press OK and move it out of the way. Then I'm going to take a rectangle. All I'm trying to do is get that shape. I'm going to fill this in, and then I'm going to move the fill out of the way, and I'm going to left click, right click. I'm going to go to Object, Break Curve Apart. I'm going to get rid of my rectangle, and there's your highway shape. There's your highway sign for your graphic. We need to turn it into a hairline, which it already is. And let's make it quite a bit smaller. And let's put it on our map. And then remember, we've set our nudge factor on 2, so let's nudge this back. And then bring in our highway sign. Now it is a hairline, but we don't want it to be a hairline when we're through with it. And because we don't want to cut this, we want to engrave this. So that looks, and it's not the same as that sign, but I'm going with it. So I'm going to go double click on it and make it a little bit bigger than a hairline. You know what, I don't know anything about millimeters, but you want to scale with the object. Then what you can do is you've got this line. Tell you what, let's get rid of our map for a second. And you've got this line going through your state. As a matter of fact, that looks awful thick. So let's change it to, if you don't ever have a number that you want, you can always type in the number. Now let's zoom in here and see if this works. Get your virtual segment delete key and delete that line. It did pretty good. It left a little. So what we can do is go to the shape tool, and that's part of this. This thing is really terrible. I don't even know what that is. So that's part of the original. Let's see if we can't delete some of the, there we go. Delete some of these nodes and see if those cracks don't disappear. So you would need to clean this up first. And what you could do is take this, select it all. Mine is off the page now, but press 20 and hit enter. And well, that's too much. It distorted it. So just back up. And it's really fine since we're just going to engrave it. But you do want to go through here and clean these notches up because they will show. So just go through and move some of that oddball stuff. And like when you're looking at it from a distance, if you see nodes off of it, it's because they're on top of each other and you don't need them. So we could delete a lot of these nodes, and even if it's going to distort it just a little bit, but there's a node on top of each other. So that looks pretty good. We'll go do a few more, but I would do them all until it distorts it. And then we could move it back to where it was and put our line, our highway in there. And then I can't remember what highway it is, but it is Highway 9. So let's take text tool and write a 9. Make it quite a bit smaller. Now remember, I think we've already changed it off of a hairline, so it ought to work. Text, it doesn't matter. You can't get it too small. There's Highway 9 on this highway. Now, I would nudge this back over and continue your Highway 9 down. You could take the freehand tool again and make sure you get on that node and just keep going down. See, there's evidently a divided part. And then make it the same thickness and the same color. Black and 2 millimeter thick. I'm actually going to change that to points just so I'll know I work with points. So that's a half of a point, and it when you go to points, you'll have a half. That's how I would do it. I'm going to send this person this part of this map so she can maybe continue on with it. Because really, I mean, I could finish the whole map, but that doesn't help you. You need to learn, or everybody, I mean, this is how I learned, just by drawing it and playing around, and just, you know, get your highway pretty close to where it is, and then look at your thickness of your roads, and, you know, the next road might not be another deal. And here's a good hint here. I grabbed, if you can grab that 9 and nudge it out of the way and grab that road sign, Control D and make a duplicate of it, nudge it back, and now you have a new 9 for this one. We picked up a red box there somehow. See if we can't get rid of the box. Yep. And you can't, it's hard to grab some things sometimes, but that worked pretty well. And then what's so easy about this, when you bring in your next line, you've already got your highway there. This is kind of a straight line, so we'll just use the straight tool. Make it 2 points. No, half a point, and then black. Because you do not want this to cut out, you know, because it could really be tricky. And if you could find that sign, you know, you'd be better off. Now we can take the whole thing and nudge it out of the way, and there's part of your map. Now, I'm going to make one more video on this. You know, once you get your wording in there and you've done some test cuts, you know, like there's some nodes that definitely need to be dealt with to make them not as sharp, and just you can delete some. I'm going to show you one more idea on how you could cut this out and frame it. I hope that helps a little bit. Thank you for watching.